Good day and welcome to another edition on quick tips to having an excellent result on Edu TV Nigeria. I am Olatunwo Priscilla. Today I would be discussing on quick tips to having an excellent result in zoology and botany. Now, it is not unusual that phobia arises in the hearts of many Part 1 students as a result of the stringent requirements of these courses. But then, it is very instructive to mention that Part 1 courses are very easy to pass. Now, Part 1 courses are just a test run of your knowledge from secondary school and the authentication of your results or your WAEC certificate or whatsoever degree you obtained right from secondary school. For botany, the very first quick tip is information. Now, students should get the right information on how to pass the course. This is very important. The right information. Information is power. We cannot underestimate the importance of information. You getting the right information will bring out the right output. So they should get the right information. Now, what do I mean by the right information? The right information on the course outline, the right information on who had an A, which senior colleague already had an A in that course. So that's what I mean by the right information, or the right information on what kind of group discussion can I attend to actually have an A in Botany 101. Then the second one being familiarize yourself with the course. Get so much acquainted with the course. Without much ado, the very first quick tip is information. Information, they say, is power. It is very important that Part 1 students source for the right information. The right information as to the course outline, the right information as to which senior colleague had an A in that course and can advise me or put me through correctly. The right information as to which group discussion can I belong to. Then the second being observe the methodology of the course. I further divided methodology into these headings: the spellings, the drawings of diagrams. Now, for the spellings, it is important that students should learn how to master the spellings of a particular word in both zoology and botany, because they mark spellings. So if you miss a word, probably you are meant to write I, or you omitted a word, or you wrote the wrong word, the wrong letter, I mean, it's going to add to it's going to lead to a deduction of your mark. So it is very important that students also master the spellings appropriately, the spellings for a particular phylum, the spellings for a particular kingdom and the likes. So spellings are very important. Then diagrams also. The drawing of diagrams, it entails that you should label just on one side. So if you are labeling on different sides, on the left side, on the right side, on the up side, the down side, it would lead to a deduction of your mark. All labels should be in just one side of the diagram. Then the second heading is that know your notes word for word, know the lines, then just your notes alone, because questions are set from the notes. Now, for zoology and botany, they won't ask you questions outside your notes. So it is very important that you familiarize yourself with your notes appropriately. Like, you should know your notes word for word, to the extent that even when a word is being picked from your notes, you can be able to trace where that word is coming from. So this is very crucial. Another thing is to understand and cram your notes. Yes, you have to understand it. Despite the fact that you know it's word for, yes, you should understand it and cram it, because sometimes they could just bring out a particular, it still boils down to you knowing your notes, familiarizing your notes. They could just bring out a particular place exactly the way it is and will expect you to fill up that place, because the questions given in both botany and zoology are objective questions. What I mean by objective questions are questions that involves gaps in them. They are without options, so they are objective questions. So you are meant to provide the appropriate answers to them. So if you've not familiarized yourself with your notes appropriately, of course you are going to miss out from the right answer you are meant to give for that particular question. That being said, past questions also is very vital. We cannot underestimate the importance of past questions. Now, for zoology, You might not be able to lay your hands on past questions for the exams, but there are past questions for the test. Now, for the test, make sure you treat the past questions. Part 1 students should ensure that they treat the past questions for zoology, the test past questions for zoology. For botany also, there are past questions for botany, and it is said that botany repeats questions, that out of 30 questions, you could have 25 questions being repeated, and out of 60, 55 could be repeated. So imagine you treating past questions every year. So you are so used to it, and you just be cruising and cruising and cruising, and you would easily have your hay in that course because you've been able to treat the past question, haven't read very well. So it is important that you treat past questions for botany and you treat zoology test questions. And if you can lay hand on the exam questions, there is no point not treating it. So make sure you treat past questions. Now, with these quick tips, you are on your way to having a very excellent result in both zoology and botany. To join us on this very interesting discussion on quick tips to having an excellent result, you could join us through our social media platform already displayed on the screen. Once again, I am Olatunwo Priscilla. Thank you and do have a very nice week. Bye.